So if you have time, please give your time at least for half an hour, 45 minutes, depending upon what you have decided to do. Then you have free time, and the dining hall is closed between 1:30 and 2 p.m. The morning Abhishekam, we chant Shri Rudram. Shri Rudram is learned with Swaraj, etc. People who have learned them, they can join us. If they are not learned, it's not that they should not come to the temple. You can enjoy listening to Vedanta. Okay. So that's all about the temple activities and dining. About the Gurukulam, we have given some information. You can read for yourself. What is the Gurukulam, Vedanta, the meaning of Krishnamurti, and so on. President of Vedantaji, Sachidananji, and others. The Navy, what is Nitya Abhisheka to Lord Dakshinamurti? Please look at it. And general information, personal belonging, parking, yoga studio, and coffee. Even we have Asia store and the Shanti trail. If you feel that too much of potatoes you have eaten, the Shanti trail will go on and feel relaxed and get ready for the yoga classes. And we have Desha store and crafts. Visit. And some information on the Vashishta new building complex is coming up. So, interested, you can come to the office and have more information about it. Then Gurukulam, some guidelines. Unauthorized recording, footwear is not permitted in the new auditorium, temple, premises. And about the dresses, conservative dresses. Please turn off your electronic devices, including your phone and tablet, in the temple, new building, and yoga studio. Intoxicants, you don't belong to that category. Forget about it. Pets are not allowed. Children are not permitted in the oven during meditation, and your children are not around. Make sure hearing aid battery is charged, as sometimes start beep sound. The person who is wearing, he would not know what's going on. People around, they get disturbed. Then, anyway, it's managing. Okay, while using a computer in public space or while remote work, make sure you never use laptop or tablet unattended. Gurukulam is not, this is important, Gurukulam is not obligated to provide uninterrupted internet service to campers, guests, or visitors. This discussion, we went back and forth to Puja Swamiji and let them come here for study, let them study. But now, it has somewhat luxury. When we walk in, they will not ask us how you are doing. What is password? You don't mind giving them password, but it has become so much of need nowadays. The password in public areas, all caps is silver jubilee. SILVERJUBREE. This is the password. You can have that free password. Is it secured or unsecured? It is unsecured, definitely. So you take your own call and decide what you want to do. Okay, then puja instructions and GFD. You would like to offer pujas for your friends, those who are not well, or whatever be the reason. So you can show up in the temple in the morning, at least 5 times before, so that we can do Sankalpa, Ganeshanji will help. And the Dayalaya is the place where Puja Swamiji started his teaching there, guided so many people. And all the Raskar Shrom Gosai, they were the one who, as a child, was coming here. Now he's a teacher. And they all have enjoyed Puja Swamiji's blessings, Puja Swamiji's presence, Puja Swamiji's teachings. So it is worth visiting. We have converted that as a meditation hall for people who sit and spend quiet time there. And we have a very small brief puja every day, soon after the evening Aarti. If you are interested, please go and join. Sometime between 6:10 and 6:15. You have to be really quick if you say that, oh, we'll go by the time you go finish and we'll be ready for the next Ganapati Homa. So you better go 5 minutes early and be there. Swamiji is here and anything else. Okay, Swamiji, you will have any self-introduction of everyone or it's okay? Yeah. Thank you all and feel free to come to office for any assistance to make your stay comfortable. Okay. Usually you have to know each other, your name. You may not remember everybody's name, but let us know this is Mita, this is Shiva, this is Rajesh, this is Anand, this is Janhari. I know all of you. You have forgotten my name is Dharma. So maybe we'll just start from Smita. Yeah, so yeah, I will go and I think as Swamiji will.
Can stay.
No. Yes, I will not waste your precious time. So I will go and Swamiji can continue satsang. And at the end, there will be our self-introduction to know more about you and your association with the group. Thank you and have a wonderful 10 days with Swamiji's and classes. I'm sure you all will enjoy. Thank you and good night.
It's the question, where's
Yes.
the times of the time of the retreat, meditation, I don't see it in
All
my
this
book.
time, what did I do?
It's not,
It's
it's
there, no? First page. I think you came late, no problem. Oh,
Thank
no.
you.
Take care. Okay, so much.
Maybe they will talk. Oh, no. Success. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunatu Sarvadevam Varavahai Tejasvinavadikamastu Mahavitrishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome to all. We will be undertaking an immersive study into a text called Upadesha-Sahasri. Sahasri means 1,000. Upadesha, teaching, from dish, to teach. Upa, being near. So teaching near, even though it is being remotely broadcast. Because in the current day, it is very difficult to know what is near and what is far. Really, nothing is far anymore. And if one has the correct attitude, it is possible to take it from afar and have it be near, feeling that it is near. Then, Upadesha-Sahasri, not that there are 1,000 verses or sentences, there are actually 674. I did not count. Somebody else has already counted, thank God. But since it is more than 500, it is Sahasri. Sahasri also because this is a teaching that can be enjoyed 1,000 times, many times. No matter how many times one hears it, one likes to hear it again and again. This is something which is very beautiful. That is one reason to study this. Very important reason. The second reason this is an important text is because of the fact that all scholars all over, regardless of time or space, agree that this has been authored by Adi Sankara. It has his stamp all over it. There are many texts that do not, let's say, Adi Sankara, Shankaracharya, because unlike now, the custom in those days was what? Was just to ascribe it to the acharyas, the teacher. And since Adi Sankara was like a bright being of great intellect, vast capacity for holding and transmitting the knowledge in a way that is even now relevant. Despite the modern problems, despite the difficulties that we face now, despite all the differences, despite everything, this is what Adi Shankara's, beauty is. So, Dakshinamurti Stotram and Upadesha-Sahasri, all scholars agree that it is authored by Adi Shankara. Then we have, and the reason is, there are many reasons, because his Sanskrit is not ostentatious. If you know the grammar, it's easy to follow. At least you can translate. But at the same time, it has a lot of depth, great amounts of depth. And because of this depth, we know it is Shankara. Then again, there are, because we can say, like even something like Shatashloki, which is attributed to Adi Shankara, has a lot of terse verses, very poetic and very beautiful. But we find that it lacks that simplicity and profundity for which Adi Shankara is well known, very famous. Simple, yet extremely deep. Very clear. That clarity is something which is so beautiful. His understanding of the subject matter, that one's nature is always and completely free of even an iota of sorrow or fear, is presented with utmost clarity. It's almost that because of the clarity, we feel like he is right here teaching us. That he was not some, 2,500 years ago, 3,000 years ago. No, right here, right now. Because regardless of the time, human problems have not changed. Why haven't human problems changed? Human beings have not changed. The jiva has not changed. What is the definition of a jiva? The one who complains is a jiva. That's all. Very simple definition. One who complains is a jiva. So even in BC, one was having complaints. BC type complaints. We don't know what they are, but complaints nonetheless. In AD also, what do we have? Complaints. In the contemporary times, complaints. Any generation you see, and we have so many, these are all very confusing to me because they say millennials, and then what else? Gen Z, and then Gen X, and so many things. I just look at it simply. Then next, complaint. Gen Z, complaints. Millennials, complaints. Boomers, complaints. Baby boomers, complaints. So, this complaining tendency is the hallmark of Jivatvam, Jivata. Jivata means Jivaness, Jivahood. And sometimes it's the complaints that draw people together in a kind of codependent and difficult connections. A family that complains together stays together. It's how it is. To put it idiomatically, misery loves company. Yes. Why should I be sad alone when you can join me? Why should you be sad alone when I can join you? This is why Adi Sankara and his knowledge of what he has to offer us works. This is why it works. No other reason. Because the complaints haven't changed. Okay, the complaints haven't changed, but maybe I don't identify with them that much. No, I still identify with them. I is equal to complaining being from day to night. That is what one does. Complain. Morning, one wakes up and stretches, and the complaints also stretch. Ow, have a body ache. Complaint itself complains. And you complain about the complaints, and then the two become one. This is not the kind of oneness Adi Sankara talks about. This is not that. But the clarity is actually very beautiful. Everybody loves clarity because any kind of haziness, fogginess in one's thinking is, one really rejects that, is not very appealing. I don't like my own fogginess and I don't like the fogginess in another, especially if I'm asking them a question. I have no interest in somebody else being foggy. And so we seek clarity. We look for clarity. And when there is clarity, there is objectivity. The two go together. Subjectivity and clarity have never ever been very good friends. Maybe they can go along for a little while, but then they have to soon part their ways. Subjectivity and clarity do not go together. Because to be crystal clear, I have to be like a crystal, free of anything that associates with it and identifies with it. There used to be that here. This is why we say crystal clear. Yeah. So even if you put an orange cloth behind it, it may shine as orange, but that it doesn't take that on to be its nature. It merely manifests what is there, broadcasts what is there, while retaining its clarity. So anything that we put behind the crystal can be called raga, literally coloration. So many colors. You can put blue, you can put this background on it, you can put yellow, you can put so many things. But while it reflects the blue, it does not take on the blue. Because the connection between the crystal and this blue book, or whatever this is, blue booklet, what kind of a connection it is? It is a connection that we would say is adhyasa sambandha. This is Adi Sankara's words. Adhyasa means the projection. So the connection, whatever connection we see between the crystal and whatever its backdrop is, yellow, green, red, whatever blue, whatever color you put behind it, what kind of a connection is that? It is a connection of projection. So projected connection, not a real connection, because there is no real connection. Look, there is no real connection between the blue and the crystal. The blueness is just the crystal projecting whatever there is in the universe without, I might add, taking that on. Like even a movie screen projects the movie without taking on whatever is happening in the movie. If people are throwing stones in the movie, the screen does not scream, "Ow, ow." Stop throwing stones, because even though it looks like they are throwing stones on the screen is not affected. This is what happens to one's mind after the study of Vedanta. It becomes crystal clear and free of notions, including even the basic notion, I am a man. Not so fast, says Adi Sankara. I am a woman. I am a human being. I am a student. I am a shishya. I am an engineer. I am a doctor. I am unemployed. I am unlovable. Anything that one may think of is just like the blue color, a projection. Anything that you think of, anything that you think you are, and anything that you think you are not, both of those are projections. Adi Sankara, through his writing, demonstrates that it is possible to have objectivity by ruthlessly examining every single thing. By ruthlessly examining every single thing. all notions, all fears, tears, sources of anxiety, and also definitions of myself that other people have given to me or I have given to myself. Both of those are equally dangerous. So clarity and objectivity go together. This was the larger point I have been making. This is one more reason to study Adi Sankara. The clarity and the objectivity, when they go together, the objectivity makes the text a safe choice. The objectivity shines through. Objectivity means what? An absence of agenda. He does not have any agenda. I want to convert the people into becoming one. Well, he says that you are already one. I don't have any pressure to convert you. I want everybody to come from what is called karma kanda. We'll talk more about that. To karma, rituals, and then to leave all that and to come to jnana. No such pressure. I want you to come away from being a Nayayika. Who's a Nayayika? Logician. So-called logicians, we should say, because some of their logic doesn't make sense to us. Vaisheshika, cousins of Nayayika once removed. And these are all contenders. Even though he does khandana, he takes them down again very, very dispassionately, and we'll be seeing this even in our course of study. It is done very in a matter of fact way, without an agenda, without some kind of a feeling that I want to show myself off, that I'm capable of this argument. And so that kind of a mind, which is swacha, pure, free of any kind of an agenda, any kind of a burning desire of a particular outcome that has to appear as a result of writing this book, a magnum opus, is not there. Yes, the desire to complete the work may be there. It again is approached objectively, like this would be nice to complete. The desire that it should be read by the people by whom it is supposed to be read is there. The desire that it should be understood may be there, but these desires are free of, they are toothless, they are free of a pressure. What is a toothless desire? It's like putting your hand in the mouth of a 1-month-old baby which doesn't have teeth. And what will the baby do? Instinctively, it will bring the gums together. Does it hurt? No teeth. So therefore, the desires are there, but they are totally toothless. Do not bite, cannot have pressure to change, cannot have any kind of an agenda. That is his mind. It's ever in the now. It's a beautiful mind to look into through the help of this book. Ever in the now. And even though certain ways of thinking are critiqued, it's not the thinker that is critiqued. It's the thinking that is critiqued. There is a difference between attacking the person and condemning the ways of their philosophical thought process. We see that separation as well. And we see the overarching compassion which allows him to write, even though he need not have done that. He's done a great favor to humankind, to humanity at large, whether it is whichever generation, even the generation that is yet to come, yet to be named, will benefit from it, so long as they have the adhikaritvam, the fit, they are fit to study this, they have a desire for this, they will definitely benefit from this. Then, of course, the next question arises, why, oh, why should I look at Adi Sankara's mind, clear as it may be, through this text? Why should I concern myself with his mind? Why should I concern myself with the clarity of this text? Because there is a saying in the Upanishads, Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. The knower of Brahman, Bhavati, here we cannot translate as become. There is no becoming here. The knower of Brahman is non-separate from what one teaches. And you are right. Why should I study about somebody else whose mind is clear? 2 minutes I'll feel good. Oh, okay. Their mind is clear. How nice it is to look into their mind. And then I'll feel again hot. Terribly sad. Oh, look at my mind. Before this retreat, I was teaching, what is that? Advaita Makaranda. So we were talking about the finitude of the body, the mind, the senses, the brain. And so there were 3 words that came. What was that? Saggy, body, baggy. You can apply it to the body and the mind. Foggy, mind. So if I am saggy, baggy, foggy, then why, studying Adi Sankara will make me even more what? Depressed. Because I'm not any of those things that I want to be. So why should I study this? Only because when we look into Adi Sankara's writing, which is non-separate from his mind, we see a Brahmavit who is one with this knowledge. That oneness is what is aspired, what is craved for. And that oneness happens to be the truth of this I that I need to discover. This is exactly what the thing is. I need to discover this, and I need to understand this, I need to know this. And that is why looking into his mind gives me an insight into my mind. Because my mind can also be like this. Sans raga, vesha, other kinds of agenda, coloring, which is for which what is the cause? Self-ignorance. Without self-ignorance, what is there is what we see, a little glimpse into his mind. This is what is the Upadesha-Sahasri. It is divided into 2 parts. First chapter, you can't call it a chapter. First portion is called the prose portion, and it is a kind of a longish portion, not as long as the poetry portion. It's a longish portion for prose. There's many sections, and in that there is a dialogue between the student and the teacher, a very high level dialogue, where anything that the student says is parsed and made threadbare, and the fallacies of the thinking is shown to the student. Because we are not studying this, I'm just giving a little synopsis. The student in this first portion must have been made of strong stuff. Ancient student made of strong stuff. Because right now, if any student came and they were shown the errors of their thinking, they would just cry, "Mummy, Mummy," and go away. Even if it were not Mother's Day. Because everybody is very sensitive. And they say that also. I'm very sensitive. What does that mean? No, 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 I'm very sensitive. Meaning, don't tell me anything. That's what it means. I'm highly sensitive. Don't tell me anything. I will just melt into a puddle. I'll have to be carried out in buckets. Don't tell me anything. This is obviously a deterrent to study, because if the teacher cannot tell anything, how will the conversation go? And it is always in the form of a dialogue. And many times in the first portion of the Upadesha-Sahasri, the student is told, "Shut up, keep quiet. You don't know anything. Listen." And then again the student comes up with some idea and is shot down immediately. You know, your thinking is a waste of time. That is why we are not studying this. We'll study it another time. Now, the poetry portion has like 18 chapters of various lengths. First chapter is, I think, 26 verses, and the second one and the third one are 4 verses. After that is 8 verses, 17 verses. And the 18th chapter is 233 verses. It unfolds the Mahavakya Tat Tvam Asi. You are Jagat Karanam Brahma. You are the whole. You are one with Ishvara. It unfolds that. That's why it's 233 verses. So together, if you count the prose portion as chapter 1, then along with that, it will be 19 chapters. And if you don't count that, if you count that as a separate portion, then it is 18 chapters total plus the prose portion. It doesn't matter how we count it. The poetry portion is nice because, they are in the form of verses. And not many people are being criticized. And whoever is being criticized, it's not us, it's them. Who are these them? Purva Pakshis, we can say. These offensive, annoying contenders who keep coming up with their own ideas. And it is safe for us to look at them because we are us, they are them. Until we find that their ghosts, specters of them, lie dormant in our own hearts. They are there right with ourselves. Things that we were never able to articulate, things that we don't even know, the objections I don't even know that exist, the objections I don't even know I have, the blocks to the learning that are there as walls, invisible walls, like in the cartoon, you see the character going and crashing against something which is not even there, but it is there. This is why the technique of Purva Paksha Siddhanta, the raising of objections, even sometimes it looks like we are even manufacturing objections, silly objections. Who can think of this? But then we find suddenly, OMG, I didn't know this, but I am a secret Nayayika. I'm a secret Charvaka. Charvaka means materialist. Yavat jivet, sukham jivet. As long as one lives, one must live happily. Drinam kritvapi ghritam pibet. Make sure you have ghee with every meal, even though you might be poor and cannot afford it. But how will I afford it? Max out your credit card. That's how. But then how will I pay it back? Who says you have to pay it back? Bhasmi bhutasya dehasya punaragamanam kutaha. Once this body is consigned to the flame, who will come back? What about Papa? What Papa? What about Punya? What Punya? What you see is what you get. That's all there is. So, there could be a hidden Charvaka in us. There could be a hidden logician, the so-called logician. The doubter, the one who says this, the doubting one, the hopeless ones. We find that the Purva Pakshis are all very sad and hopeless. Yes, I feel bad for them. So many sad and hopeless people, and they convince themselves they can never get moksha. So guess what? They're not even going to try. They are just going to put some spokes in the wheel because they feel like they have to justify their own hopelessness by showing how moksha is impossible. Little do they know that you can't really get moksha. You are already free. Mukta. You are totally, totally free. This is why we have to study this. And the two chapters we will be studying, I thought we could do 3, but I don't want to overestimate myself, especially with the light schedule during the 3 Kumbhabhishekam days. So let us not worry about completing anything. Let us be in the moment and enjoy each verse, and we'll see how far we will get. So the first chapter is called Jnana Utpatti Prakaranam, the rise of self-knowledge, or Upadesha-Sahasri Prakaranam, introductory chapter. Because to qualify to study the 18th chapter, you have to go through a certain process. Suddenly, if one is told Tattvamasi, what? You are the whole. H-O-L-E, right? I already knew that. This is what it is. So there is a gradual build-up, and all the deployment of various pedagogies from chapter 1 to chapter 18. So the chapter 1 puts the whole story in perspective. The story of this complaining jiva and how the complaining jiva comes to the teacher or should come to the Vedanta, and how should this study start and what is behind this study, etc. A caveat, it looks deceptively simple. One can say, oh, this is just goo goo gaga baby Vedanta. We have to watch out for that. And that is seen even in the opening verse. The opening verse starts everything with a big bang. It accomplishes many, many things. It shows the subject matter. It shows, everything. Subject matter of the study is beautifully elucidated right in verse 1. So, this is what our study will entail. And this is the reason to study it. Why? Because I want to stop complaining. That's the only reason. If you ask anyone, do you like being a complaining being? Yes? No? People are afraid to raise their hands. They don't want to stand out. But generally, nobody wants to be complaining. Even though there is some short-term kind of a satisfaction that one gains from complaining. Because you see, the complaining is conflated with catharsis. Catharsis or venting is a psychological tool to get over the force of emotions after a particular traumatic incident or some fear or shock. But that cannot be a way of life. If that becomes a way of life, then we are done in for. That nobody wants. We are not talking of catharsis, we are not talking of venting it out or getting some relief. But we are talking about the permanent state of affairs where the distress, where one's distress is repeatedly rehearsed all the time, 24/7, 365. And how to stop that? There's no other way to stop that permanently except through Vedanta. There are many temporary fixes. You can go to a movie, you can go out to dinner, lunch. What else can you do? You can go to the mall. I always like to spell it MAUN, where you go to get mold of your wallet, pocket book. So you can go to the mall, you can go to the beach mein, in the middle of all the complaints. You can go here, you can go there, but wherever you go, there you are. If it's not one thing, it is the mother. Who knows? Yeah. So therefore, this study becomes very, very urgent. And even though we say that knowledge is dependent upon the means of knowledge, and Vedanta being itself a means of knowledge, we'll see that more. The Shruti itself is a way, is a eyesight for me to see what is very clear, that I do not need to be saved because I am not enslaved. This is what is very, very clear. But I'm not able to see it. I keep floundering and looking for somebody to save me. Something to be coming. Something is coming, something will help, something will get me out of this mess. And the more I look for it, the more elusive it is. And since I think I'm drowning, and the drowning person cannot be choosy, will grasp at straws, and then what? I am also grasping at straws, life after life after life. Until the Guru comes and tells exactly what the Guru of Mirabai told Mirabai. What? There is no ocean. A, B, you are not drowning. Therefore, you are not drowning. C, therefore, you don't need help. Because there are no sharks. There is nothing there. You are already saved. Oh, but this is a nightmare. Exactly. Upadesha-Sahasri is the coffee that wakes one up from this nightmare called Jivatvam. More we'll see tomorrow. Any questions are there? Yes.
When will the to be announced be announced?
What was that? When will what be announced?
When will the to be announced be announced? In the classes is
Afternoon class.
afternoon class.
Afternoon class. There is no afternoon class. Who said there was an afternoon class? There is yoga. Yeah. Oh, 4:30 class, yeah. Then we are doing Upadesha-Sahasri.
Okay.
Yes.
To be announced.
No, Upadesha-Sahasri itself. There is no other text. Yeah, I'm sorry, I did not understand.
Wasn't clear.
It's okay. Any other questions? Yes, all 3 classes we will be studying this particular text alone. Usually for this camp, I have 2 texts. Sometimes we do like a weekday and weekend schedule, and sometimes we have a different 4:30 another text. But this time I'm not doing that because we are already not having many classes for those 3 days. So I thought we'll just stick with one text. Any other questions? Logistics? Okay. Do you want to tell your names? We'll start from here. Chintamani.
I'm Dean Bahalu.
I'm Abhiraman.
Saraswati.
Asu.
Smita Gosai.
Mahalakshmi.
Vatava.
Gayatri.
Shiva.
Surekha. Ugovi.
Archana.
I'm Ravi.
Vasu. Shakti.
Sharada. Dhanam.
Rajesh.
Namaste, Smita.
Is your name Namaste or Smita?
Janvi. Raji. Vidya. Laura. Jaya.
Srivandagiri.
Jyoti. I didn't hear that. What's that?
Tanuja.
Tanuja, yes.
Mangesh. Madhuri.
Can you say it softer still? Me. Tomorrow, what is the schedule? 7 o'clock? Meditation. 8:30. First class. And then 11:15. Second class. All right here. And then after that, we will have 2:30 yoga. Aishwarya is not here. She will come tomorrow. And she assured me from 2:30 to 3, she will put everybody in a state of deep relaxation. So you will want to go there. Yeah. Because in Vedanta class, when you are in a state of deep relaxation, we all know what happens. So 2:30 to 4, and then you have a little break for tea or hot water, whatever your favorite brew is. Then 4:30 we come here for the third class of the day. And then there is puja, etc. The timings will be there. Time to take a walk, puja. And then we come here for question, answers, bhajans, etc. We didn't introduce Raji in the back. Can't do it, Raji. Take the mic there. Let them introduce themselves. Yeah. I didn't see you. You were out of range of the visual. Yes, please introduce yourselves and then we give them a big hand.
Raji. Pandey is not here.
Okay, we'll see him tomorrow. Thanks. And then helping with the audio visual so that we can be heard and everybody can understand as a result. Really priceless seva. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityo Ma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om